Well, my days of bashing people are done and over with because there's more to talk about now with AMC other than the lies and horseshit that were told in the days preceding up to June and then all the time after up until 2-ish weeks ago. And I'm in no way bashing this cat at all. I watched his fractal theory thing that initially my first conclusion is that it was stolen DD from someone's cycle theory or whatever on Reddit, and he just made it his own, which is very typical of most YouTubers in general, but I don't know. That was just my initial thought. I haven't really watched him, so I'm watching more of him to get a proper assessment. But this initial 3 minutes of this video is very good. If you don't understand options and why they're important to any squeeze at all, he touches on some very important key factors of why it is, why you need them, how they help those who are only buy and hold make more money with their buying and holding. They work in concert together. But yes, you need to be buying stock underlying at all times. And even if you have options, a safe proportion in my mind has always been 70-30. That's if you're in a squeeze play, that's what you want to see happen. 70% of your purchases should be stock that's going to be bought and sit, and 30% should be options that you use to make money quickly and put more into the stock, whatever the case may be. That's my typical stand on that. But he says a lot of good things about options and how you need them. You do. I am getting to the point to where I'm tired of hearing a lot of people talking about the options chain who don't even understand options, have never bought an option, don't know what they are, how they work, what they do, but you're still running off a buy and hold narrative from the beginning of the year, and that's the only thing you know, and that's the only thing you've heard, and you've never read into anything, none of that. You have to stop. Those people out there that are doing that shit need to stop. Like, you just have to. If you don't know or understand options, you should not even speak about them. I'm a firm believer in that. If you have no knowledge of any topic, um, you should probably learn and listen and find out some things about that topic before you either bash it or start saying, oh, it's bad, it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Because once again, the only reason you've even had any of the runs that you have had is because of options. That's the only reason. That's it. There's a super duper good possibility that this last little gap up here that happened was all due to options. And when you're in a scenario like this, where it's a heavily manipulated stock, again, we already know that it's a heavily manipulated stock. I'll say it till the day I die, going back here. Everybody who thinks this is a normal stock and it's normal, there's no manipulation, it's just normal, it's just people, they selling. That's just people saying they're holding, but they're not, they're really selling. Every chart in the world, every stockbroker, every professional in the finance world would have told you with all their charts that this is normal in this scenario, and this here should have been straight up lift off. This should have been another huge gap up here. That's what should have happened here. All of the data, everything, the volume, everything that was happening should have been a huge fucking gap up here. Should have been. Everything said that's the way it was going. The most fucking volume it had had, excuse me, since this fucked up bad red day 2 days later when the shit sold. We obviously know that first 2 days, the second and third were significant, but this was the last day that saw over 300,000 in volume, and it spent a solid week, almost two trading weeks, close to it, battling back, coming back, regaining momentum, people getting scared, selling off again, but then just on Thursday, crazy buying pressure to set up options, which is what you will see in a scenario like this. And then Friday shows up and death, just all the people here did not show up here. Like, they didn't. It doesn't make sense. And then from here, it just died. Not following the trend or the pattern or any of the normal analysis you use for this scenario. It just died. And options went with it. Everything died. That was my initial thought when this happened, was they're going to short it and they're going to buy puts and they're going to make a bunch of money on the way down and then get calls and make a bunch of money on the way up, and they were going to just do that while it laddered up. But then they realized retail started buying puts too. There were some smart retail investors out there that were buying a bunch of puts that were going to make money on the way down when they made money on the way down, and they were going to make money on the way up when they made money on the way up. They were following them. So they end up killing that idea for the most part, and they just destroyed options as a whole. You couldn't buy calls or puts. Nothing. You weren't going to make money on anything. Anything. The only people that were going to make money here were market makers. That's it. Those were the only people that were going to make money, were the people that were writing these contracts. But you don't have to be a market maker to do that. I could do that. You just need enough shares and a margin account. And you can fucking write calls and puts all you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to be a market maker. But that's where the blatant manipulation kicked in. It just did. It just fucking did. That shit should have been ripping up. Should have been ripping the fuck up. Everything suggested that was the way it was going. And then it died. And then for a while there, yeah, this shit here was an options killing environment. The volume completely disappeared. No more volume, no more volatility, no more ups, no more downs, no more ups, no more down. Like, it was just straight up barcoding and then a step down, and then barcode and then step down, and then barcode and then step down. Did people sell off in there? Of course they fucking did. Of course they did. But they didn't sell off here. That didn't happen. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. The people that were in this to day trade and fuck with it and whatever, they got out in here. Maybe got back in when it started going up and got back out again here, but those people are done with this after that. They're done. Everyone left in this are the people that have been here since here, ready for the squeeze, ready for this thing to blow up. And it just for no reason died. Died. That's why this chart does not look normal. When you go look at any other squeeze play or anything like that, this chart does not look normal. But when you blow this up and compare it to this, it looks very much like this. Very, very much like this. Almost as if this thing has been under lock and key since this moment happened. Since this shit happened, this thing has been manipulated. And at certain times it gets to run. It gets to do its thing. Which is why I wouldn't be shocked to see something similar happen again. I would expect something like that to happen again. But that was the difference there. The options chain was completely obliterated. The stock as a whole was turned into this funky ass junkyard where no money could be made at all. Anyway, you were doing it unless you are a hedge fund or already rich. The only way you're making money there. The options chain has turned around. I've mentioned it many, many times. I've said it many, many times. Even if you're losing money in the proportionate amount, the correct way. The way that you're losing it is how it should be lost in a normal-ish environment. But you need options. All these people running around talking about options bad, blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently all your fucking buying from here through here, whatever, didn't do a goddamn thing. So, yeah, right? All of your buying and holding through this entire time frame did what exactly for this stock and the squeeze? You have to have options. You have to. It's just a fact. They work in concert with each other to make this thing do what everyone wants it to do. So I give the kid credit on that. Again, still watching more of his shit. This dude literally looks like STV put a wig on and created another channel so that he can make more money. Or this is his fucking cousin down in goddamn the woods of Alabama, sitting in a trailer park that he called up and said, hey, Brian, it's your cousin up north. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to make a YouTube channel about AMC. I'll siphon you a bunch of information. You just put it out there, and I get 30%. 30%? Oh, you're right. I'll give you. We'll do 50. That's even. 50%. Okay. Okay. Like that's kind of what this shit reminds me of. But again, not trying to dog him. I don't do that shit anymore. I'm not into that. Not into doing all that. There's plenty of people out there carrying on that tradition. Um, But yeah, so I give the kid credit here. I am completely on board with seeing the whole options FUD thing. Some of you guys in my fucking comments and my subscribers, y'all got balls talking to me about options being bad and shit. I'm starting to question how long you've been here and if you really have even been watching my videos, because that's a lot of what I talked about. One of the first things I talked about was how they destroyed the options market, just destroyed it for AMC and all that. So there was a pattern change today. Pattern change between AMC and Yummy. These motherfuckers typically track each other no matter what, but I always know I need to wait anyway until the whole aftermarket, pre-market, till I get the whole big picture, because it may very well end up just lining up again towards the end, which is really all that matters. But the movement as a whole was different. This was, I ain't never seen them stray so far away from each other like that. I just haven't. You go back even a day, you can go back and look at it. Just pull it up like this and go back and look at the day before or days past or whatever. You'll still see that for the most part, these things track significantly. Same movements, like almost all the time. This was just boom, boom, right in the line. This motherfucker went boom, 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 like just wacky as fuck. It's I ain't seen it do that in a long time. Even now, this motherfucker's gapping up here and now kind of going down. AMC did not do that. Did not gap back up and go down. But at the end of the day, for me, it's still all about the percentage change as a whole by the time we get to that point. Are they going to be riding the lightning heading into the bell and then follow each other? Because this right here may be making up for all this shit that happened, and then this is basically riding the line here. So that's different. Something very, very, very different. Like their RSIs and everything are completely off from one another. The line as a whole tracking just way off. Way, way off. Completely fucking different than what you usually typically see. All of it. Like you can usually look at everything. This, and for the most part, they will damn near be matching. Very, very close. Don't know what that means. Might not mean anything at all. We'll see. We'll see what happens when this bell rings. So, like I said, be prepared. I really think this is going to be a wild fucking Monday. Just all around the board. Everything. I think there's going to be shit blowing up everywhere. Hopefully, AMC and GME are a part of that. But I think there's going to be some money to be made today. If you know where to find it, if you're already looking for it, I feel like this is going to be a big money making day. A lot of crazy shit coming up by the end of this week. A lot of crazy shit for the market. A lot of crazy shit for the economy as a whole. That is going to be done for at the end of this week. So next week's going to be fucking, I think it's going to be a bloodbath in the market. I don't know. But I think this week's going to be pretty fucking sweet for people that are in the right places at the right time. So I just want to check back in a little earlier because A, I wanted to bring that to your attention. Anytime there's a break in any sort of pattern that's been pretty consistent or stays very close to what it usually does, I like to bring it to your attention when that happens. So, like I said, this may mean nothing. This may mean absolutely nothing. What really does matter is how it tracks when the bell opens up. But again, these usually fucking track very, very close, even in the after hours and pre-market. So strange to see that. I will be following it, monitoring it, and get back to you when I can get back to you. I'm out.